Welcome to Gail's Garden, herbs and more, a little bit of the more, olives. Well, I guess olives not really an herb, olive leaves maybe, and I use olive leaves for tea sometimes. This is my second brine. We have olive trees. You try to pick them usually end of August, September, beginning of October, although mine picked a little bit later. These are we have several different types of olive trees. These are the great big olives. Try to keep them somewhat uniform inside, and then can you see how I scored them around, down to the seed and around almost? That'll help get that brine down in there easier. And if you had a pitter, to pit them would be even better. That'll make it even better. This is their second brine on this batch. Let me show you my other batch. Hi. Okay, so picking the olives, washing them off, taking out any bad spots, you want to do that where there's a certain type of worms that can get in there. So if you see where the hole goes down in, you can see that's a worm. Sometimes the birds will just pick it lightly and it makes a little spot. That's okay. You just don't want worms in your olives, so you want to check it. And some years are worse for worms than others. There's been years and I don't know if there was any worms at all. Kind of depends on the weather with olives. So let me show you my second batch here. Okay, I just fished them all out of this brine, okay? And I put my date on here, change in 1 week. It's supposed to be the 26th. I think it's the 27th. And a day later, but there was no way I could get to it. Things have just been really hectic. Life has been changing very fast. Moving fast. No, changing a little, not that much, I guess. I think I'm just going to be staying here for a while until God shows me what else. We'll just see. I don't know. I don't want to get into that. But anyway, I'm going to empty this. And you need to get some warm water to put your salt in. Now, you don't want to just use any salt. I'm trying to think where I put my salt at. I just went this morning and what I got this morning was called pickling salt. I don't think I've ever used it. It's just plain salt. The main thing is you don't want to get salt with iodine. You know how they add iodine to your salt? I've been using just plain old salt that's not had iodine added to it. That's what I usually can with, because when you're canning, pickling, that kind of stuff, you do not want the iodine in the salt. So I'm going to empty this and rinse my jar real good. And then I'm going to put a little bit of water, put my olives back in it. I'm going to warm up some water to put my salt in, so that your salt will melt better in the warm water before I pour it in, and finish filling up my olives and water to the top to set. Let's do that, and then I'll tell you what you do next. Okay, this is the canning and pickling salt. And like I said, as long as you use salt without iodine. I got this wet. Shoot, I set this down there. Hope it did get a little wet. I got to dry that. I'm going to have to put that in a jar so it doesn't harden on me, my salt. So I won't use all that. I'm going to put anywhere from 1.5 cups to 2 cups of salt and melt it per gallon of water. And there was something else. Oh, and then you don't have to, but I love using grape leaves. When I get mine full, I'm going to lay grape leaves and place them around, and then a couple weights, because you want to keep these olives underneath the brine. You don't want them up on top, or they'll start molding. And you're going to keep it in there. Well, we'll get back to that in just a second. Hi there. That's Charmaine. My daughter, granddaughter, and my middle name is Charmaine. And we had all went together to get Kyle this puppy for his birthday this summer. She was just old enough to pick up this weekend. So he wanted to name her Charmaine after all three of us, because it was the three of us that got his puppy. And of course, I have to take care of her until she gets up big. And then when she gets up big enough, he'll take her with him, and he's always gone all the time. doing different things and stuff, but he'll have a little traveling companion when she gets up bigger. But until then, she'll have to stay home, and I'll take care of her until she gets where she's big enough. But, 'cause she don't hardly get to see him. He's hardly ever here. But, maybe he'll be here more just to come see his puppy. Anyway, isn't she a cutie pie? So I can't always just let her. I let her out if I'm out and about. But she eats things she shouldn't and gets sick. And she's, you know, like a baby. She sticks everything in her mouth because she is a baby. But anyway, say hi. Come say hi. Yeah. Here, come over here in the sunshine. Come here. Yeah. Hi, baby. Hi. Hi, baby. Yeah, TJ, Mommy, go play with me. Go play with me. Yeah, come play with me. But that's another project I'm working on right now. A new puppy. I'm going to go ahead and give you that. Okay, it's 1.5. The first time that you do the brine, you do like 1 3/4 or cup of salt or something. Right around in there per gallon. The second brine, you want just a little bit more, maybe 1.5 to 2 cups of salt. You keep it the first time in for a week, and then you change your brine out, and that's when you make your second brine a little bit stronger. Then you keep it in there for 2 months. After 2 months, you're going to check it and taste your olives, and you can eat them then if you like the taste, but you probably will want to keep them in for another month or 2. Olives take a while. So these are big olives. It may take me 3 or 4 months. I don't know. But I'll keep an eye on them. Once I get this all full, I haven't got the hot water. Just put some water so they wouldn't bruise or break or anything too much. I don't want to mash them up or bruise them. So I put a little water for when I was putting them back in. They hit the water and not the hard bottom. Then I'll fill it up and mix it with the salt water to make the brine. And then I'm going to cover the top with the grape leaves, and I'll show you how I do that. And then put a weight on top of that. Now I think I've used pretty much all my weights. I found one more. I use these little glass tops for canning jars. They make great weights, but I need one more. I really need 2. I'll see if one will hold the grape leaves down on top. If not, I had a couple little bamboo spoons, and I just laid one way and one across that way, trying to hold the leaves down on top last time. But I really don't like doing that because it's kind of eating away at my wood. I don't know. Maybe they're just soaking up the salt water. Anyway, I'm going to try it with one. I usually put 2 of these on the top to weight it down. So I'll show you when I get it all in there and everything. Let me show you something else. Okay, it's gonna take me a while to get that other one done, and I need to do a lot of things. So I put this underneath here, so if it bubbles up or drains or gets wet or anything, it doesn't, it's okay in this. Okay, you can see right along the top, the leaves have kind of folded up a little, but the olives aren't coming up, so that's good. Those are the grape leaves. And then remember that little glass top I showed you? So looks like, I thought I put 2 in there. Yeah, there's 2. But one might hold the grape leaves down. We'll see. I've got 2 of them, 2 of those glass tops holding the grape leaves down, and the grape leaves are holding the olives down so they don't come up above the brine. That's what you do. It sets a couple months. If they're the smaller olives, they might be done in 2 to 3 months. These being the bigger ones, I'll just have to wait and see. I did this, was it last year or the year before? I think last year. Anyway, but I had some different olives from the other olive trees, so I haven't done the big ones. This is my first year doing the big olives, so we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's that. I will leave you with that. Give me a thumbs up, and we will catch you all later. Bye now.